Tired of being an adult, man.
Yeah, adulting is not necessarily the most fun.
I like being a
fun thing.
grown ass man, but I don't like the whole adult shit.
So what's the difference?
I'm a grown ass man at this point, so can't nobody sell me shit.
All right, and we are recording.
For sure.
All right, so here we go. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tony Hadnot, aka the Nocturners, and I'm here with my bro,
Kinfolk, man, and we are
Super Hadnot Bros.
goddamn right.
And this is a podcast about two brothers literally having a raw conversation about nothing. So, first and foremost, how does it feel to be on your own podcast? The first official broke podcast.
Man, this shit gonna be dope. I really don't know how to feel about it because we gonna say some shit.
Yeah.
And however people feel about it is how we go rock.
Right.
But right now, I mean, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Being able to, I take in so much content, being able to put some shit out there because I fuss at people online for no goddamn reason. Even I don't get in the comments. I just talk shit to it like I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, like the old dude fussing at the TV during the action movie, like don't go in that room over there.
Yeah, man. So you know, they say some shit that I'm just be like, nah, that ain't cool. Or I'm just like that shit ain't right. Or they just be saying dumb shit. So I'll be wanting to put my input in, but I don't like to do the comments too much or whatever because people getting their feelings. So now being able to say it however we want to is cool. It's cool.
Yeah, and so for all of our listeners, for all those who don't know who we are actually blood brothers. We have the same mom, we have the same dad. So for all the parents, you know, our parents and our in-laws and grandparents, if you do happen to tune in, I just want to apologize in advance because we're going to be very honest.
We gonna hurt some people's feelings, goddamn. But you know,
I mean,
it is.
And the intention is not so much to hurt feelings. It's just to, you know, just we gonna say what we gotta say, and we're just gonna have.
Well, what I mean by hurting feelings, some people just they starting to get sensitive, man. And, you know,
right. If you
what it is,
if you feeling some kind of way about it, you know, that honestly that sounds like a you problem. So that's just how it is. You got to take it in stride. So that's just what it is. But yeah, man, we like the first we're the newest official broke podcast. You know, every podcast got to start out broke. I am literally set up in a corner in my guest room. I don't even have the whole room. Like if I turn the camera around right now, you would be surprised at all the stuff you see here right now because we're trying to get it cleaned up.
Well, I'm pretty straight though. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the man cave. My shit.
Yeah,
around here with all the posters and shit. So I'm
you got literally the whole room. So you have that to yourself. See, I have to share this house with my wife. So like this is our guest room. So whenever people do come to sleep over, they're gonna like it's funny because the rest of the room looks normal as hell. But they're gonna come in and go to sleep and look at all this here and be like, this don't even go. Like why
it'll be stranger whenever they sleep and they wake up and they just see the back of your head at the computer doing this shit. Well, then that's when it's gonna be weird.
No, you know what's funny? They're not gonna be looking at the back of my head because the bed is in front of me. So if they come in and they wake up, I'm sitting there, I'm looking right.
you like, hey, how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm looking right at them. So yeah, but nah, man, I'm really excited about the podcast and everything. I think it's gonna go really well. You know, there is no structure to this thing. We just gonna treat it like jazz music. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna wherever the conversation goes, that's just where we go. There's no specific theme to the podcast. There's no specific what's the words I'm looking for? Like there's no
we don't need structure, goddamn it.
Yeah, we're literally just having a conversation, you know. Because personally, I feel like the best conversations are the conversations about nothing, because a conversation about nothing really is a conversation about any and everything, you know. And I think a good conversation just naturally flows in the way it's gonna flow. It doesn't always have to be. I don't know. I get weird about people who feel like to be a good conversationalist, you got to talk about, you know, stuff like politics and finances and all these things that adults like to talk about. You know, we could talk about whatever as long as we can find some common ground.
Not gonna
we're
lie,
good.
I'm tired of being an adult.
Huh?
Tired of being an adult, man.
Yeah, adulting is not necessarily the most fun.
I like being a
thing.
grown ass man, but I don't like the whole adult shit.
So what's the difference?
I'm a grown ass man at this point, so can't nobody sell me shit.
I feel that. No, I 100% feel that. I recently had to kind of come into that that mindset myself. You know, you just the more it just seems like the more you worry about how people think about you, like the more complicated life just becomes, and it's retarded. And is that PC? It might not be, but it is what it is. It is crazy. Like it just doesn't make any sense. That's like teenage shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
fuck all that, man. I'm grown. I got teenagers, about to have a hella grown ass son. I mean, even though he's considered an adult in age, but
yeah,
he's about to be super grown soon. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Give him about another three more years. He grown.
Yeah, about 3 years when he gets to that. Yeah, about 21. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes,
right.
Yeah, you know, he keep telling me every time I talk to him, he be like, you know, I'm gonna come back, Dad. I'm gonna be swole. I'm gonna be big and swole. Come on and see if you want to, man. That offer's still on the table. You know, whenever you want it.
Right.
But I don't think he gonna do it. But still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he gonna be grown, so I'm proud of him.
Yeah, he's doing good though. I actually saw a video of him not too long ago, marching with the band. YouTube or something like that.
Which video was it? Was it them marching towards the battle?
I don't know if they were marching towards the battle, but they weren't wearing band uniforms. They were wearing
they were going to a stage and they were performing before the game and all that.
Yeah, I can see that the band camp has been doing good for him. Like he looks a little different now. Like I see he done got a little beefier. Yeah. You know, his little grown man face trying to come in, all that good stuff.
He looking grown, man. He looking real grown.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. So what I really want to talk about is just kind of been the thing that's been the talk of the week. And you introduced me to this hip hop group called Contra.
You damn right. Yeah.
I see that they've been around for a little while. And man, like when you sent me when you first told me about them, I think the first video I saw of them was the Never Freestyle.
Yeah.
And that right there was refreshing in itself. But when you showed me the Scenario freestyle, and I don't even want to play the clip because everybody's seen it a million times. I've seen all the reaction videos.
Everybody should have seen it by now.
Yeah, it's literally shaking up the world. But when I saw the Scenario video, it really did kind of put a thought into my mind, man, because I remember when you first told me about them, you were basically saying that they could be like the change in hip hop.
Yeah.
And I remember responding saying something to the extent of like, I was a little skeptical about that because although I believe in hip hop, like, you know, for people like me and you who appreciate, I guess, the more traditional essence of hip hop, you know, the boom bap, the metaphorical wordplay and the wittiness and things of that nature, we feel like to find that you have to look underground. You know, I guess that's the purest. I don't know what the word is. I guess that's the more purest mindset of those who love hip hop.
Yeah.
But after watching the Scenario freestyle and seeing them doing what they're doing and the reactions that they're getting, I kind of started thinking like, dang, man, you know, could Coast Contra be like the CPR of hip hop? Are they like resuscitating it? Like, are they the defibrillators with the paddles, you know, rubbing them together and telling everybody to stand back and hit say clear?
They definitely about to bring it back. I mean, simple as that. There's no other way you can put it. I didn't caught a whole bunch of other ones that some older videos. I know they've been doing a lot of new ones with the table where they all sitting at the table.
Right.
Some older ones or whatever that's still fire. I think they go change everything because they calling people out for one.
Facts.
Ain't nobody gonna respond. You know what I'm saying? Not the ones they calling out, and they giving love to the ones that they like. So you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna catch on.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah, I see, man. You got stuck for about 15 seconds.
That's all right. That's called raw conversation. But
struggle streaming, bro.
It's crazy you say that when you said that they be calling people out, which they do, because you know, they have that, you can tell that they have the passion and drive for it. But I think in a sense with them calling people out, that kind of is hip hop in itself. Yeah. So, you know, as much as I know you said like nobody's going to respond, I would kind of hate it if nobody did, because what I really want I think that's also like a pivotal moment in changing the game. I think that's a key element, is to get people to respond. It's almost like how when Kendrick did the Control verse, remember when that was a big deal?
Yeah.
And they were saying that he was beefing with everybody. Well, I don't know if it was so much a beef, but he basically like just called out all the names. Certain people started to respond. It was almost like that recharge to kind of breathe that life into, I guess what they call and I hate using this word, but it really was bringing life into the culture.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that would actually be kind of dope if somebody, even if it is some of these rappers that I guess a lot of people don't like, whatever they want to call them, mumble rappers, or I don't know what they are anymore, but if they found a way to respond and say something, because that would really kind of show who really got the bars and who don't. Because I always have to remember this, that even though a lot of these rappers to most hip-hop purists are considered trash, we have to remember that at the end of the day, they're mainstream. And the only reason I say that is because, like, remember when Waka Flocka Flame came out, a lot of people was just like, oh, he garbage, blah, blah, blah. But then he dropped a freestyle and went in.
Yeah,
so it almost makes me want to think that, okay, well, if these guys are mainstream and if this is the route that they're taking, do they really have what it takes to kind of maybe say something back and really show us what the talent that they have, or are they really just talentless?
So
you know what I mean?
I feel like that's cool, but the ones that's gonna react is the ones who really got bars. So
yeah, my point. Yeah,
I would imagine it's gonna be, you know, a big crit go had to come out and say, you know, do something, even though they wasn't calling him out.
Right.
But it's just that new era, this I don't know what the fuck they call it, drill music, mumble. I don't know what the shit called, but they not gonna be able to respond because this youngster, I had him listening to it yesterday.
Yeah,
listening to Scenario,
and
he was just like, "Oh man, they trying to sound like such and such. They trying to sound like this." I'm like, "No, you just can hear them. You can understand what they're saying." So to you, in your mind now, you like, "What the hell are they doing?" So he tried to downplay it, like, "Oh, they sound old. They this, they that." No, you just can understand them. So you know what I'm saying? I'd rather have that shit than whatever the hell they're talking about now.
And I try not to. I really try my hardest not to diss the younger guys, because I always have to remember that the guys who are out now are 10, 20 years younger than me. So they could be speaking a different language that I just can't necessarily relate to. So, you know, I don't really want to call it trash. All I can just say is just it's not for me. It's
I
just,
don't want it.
You know, and that's cool. You know, if you out there making your money, do your thing. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's just not for me. But with these young guys,
Vanilla Ice had buku money. Did not make him the greatest rapper, bro. Just saying.
Oh yeah,
Vanilla Ice had buku money when he started.
But you know,
I think he's still living off of that money.
He could be, but then that goes into that whole topic that's one thing that I hate, that people, you know, praise artists off of, because they start talking about the money. When they always say the greatest rapper, they always base it on commercial success and not so much the critical acclaim. Like
Eminem.
Yeah, you know, they say that Eminem is like the greatest rapper of all time. And I ain't trying to take nothing away from Eminem. I do think that he is an incredible MC. Okay. Me personally,
that's cool and all. But he's not even in my top 50.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Me personally, he's not my favorite rapper of all time. I can't put him in the top. There's just and then that whole top whatever list, that's too many people to kind of go through to even figure that out. Me personally, but you know, they go based off of commercial sales instead of critically acclaimed. Like you have albums like Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z, right? When that album first came out, it wasn't a commercial success. but a lot of people loved it. You may not like it, but I love it. I love it. I think it's like listening to a movie. You know,
iffy, man. If I wanted to listen to a movie, bro, I listen to Kendrick Lamar, man. Damn.
Kendrick Lamar is dope. I ain't taking nothing away from him either. But what I'm saying is like it to a lot of people, it was a great album. It's the same thing with Illmatic. Illmatic may not have been a commercial success, but Illmatic is like a fire album.
It's normally talked about in the top 5 of greatest albums of all time.
It is normally talked about in the top 5 of greatest albums, but you know, nobody ever wants to put. They never really want to say it's like a number 1 album or he's the greatest rapper because he didn't make the money off of, you know what I'm saying, off of the original album when it around the time it first came out. But of course, now we know, you know, in retrospect and all that, we all realize that it was a great album. So that's just a whole different conversation. But back to Coach Contra, man. Like, yeah, I believe in these cats, man. Like, they really got something going on.
I'm trying to put everybody I come in contact with on. That way it can spread and do whatever they need to do. Because, man, they hit people with these verses. Yeah. And it's a good thing that they put the words at the bottom of the screen. Because it makes go over so many people's heads.
Right. You can really take it in and decipher it and figure it out.
You can catch all the double meanings. You can catch everything that they talking about. You're like,
yeah. And they be spinning, and you know, and it's crazy. I actually watched one reaction video when they did the scenario free. Was it the scenario freestyle? It was one of those. It was, I don't know. It was one of the ones where they were sitting at the table, and I can't remember the cat's name who did the reaction video, but he had the brat with him, and so you know we all know who the brat is. I saw that one. And so she was looking at it like, yo, these cats is the truth. So when you got like an OG like the brat, you know what I'm saying, coming in there and saying stuff like that, that really kind of says a lot, because you know the brat came from an era where it was about the bars and not so much about whatever else. Like they don't really talk about like, and I'm sitting here really thinking about it as far as like all the music I heard, they don't really talk about money. No, they don't talk about materialism. They are just
a message, man.
They're sending you a message. They're telling you a story. They're really just I think the most beautiful thing about what they're doing is that they're truly just showcasing their skill. Oh, yeah. You know, just letting you know, like, this is how talented we are. This is what we're gonna say. Here's our message. Take it or leave it, and that's just that.
Yeah. So I'm all in on them, man. I don't see how they can't go all the way to the top, because I watched the interview they did on Talib's show. And they were talking about their experiences and how they came together in the apartment 505 that they lived in together. It was a 1-bedroom apartment, and all 4 of them that was there, they all worked together, and they did this grind for several years just to get where they are now. So they didn't do let me just jump on SoundCloud, or let me just jump on this and that and just sound like the next dude. Go get the rapping starter kit. Let me go get some face tags. Let me get some colorful hair. Let me go get my grill. Let me wear some skinny jeans and shit and whatnot. And then they talk about killing people and this and that. They didn't go that route. So they actually put in the work, which makes them sound way better than what people they compare them to. And that's the only thing I'm kind of scared of. A lot of people, it's like, oh, they want to be Wu-Tang. They want to be this. They want to be. Don't compare them to that. Yeah, they give you that nostalgia feeling because of some of the beat selection that you see online, but in their album is totally different. And so I don't want them to get put into a hole to where it's like, oh, they old school. They only want to sound like this.
No, they just it's one thing to have influence, but it's another thing to be compared to. And I don't think that they should be compared to anybody. To me, they just sound like a group of young kids who just can spit. They can rap. You know, and on top of that, you know, I remember talking to you on the phone about the other day, but I made sense of it all. You know, because the group has 2 twins, Taj and what's their names? Taj and is it Raj or something? Raj. Okay, Taj and Raj. So I just found out that they are the sons of Tidra Moses and Raz Cass. And
Right.
Raz Cass is a West Coast MC from our era in which we grew up listening to music. So they had that influence. Plus Tidra Moses, she came out like around, I'm not gonna say I don't know. Well, I don't know when she came out, but I first started listening to her in the early 2000s. She had like a couple of albums come out, and but she's kind of like more on an R&B, soulful kind of thing. And I remember her on an interview with Neo Soul Cafe. Shout out to DJ Francis J.
Shout out, guys.
She did an interview with Francis J on Neo Soul Cafe, and she was talking about her twin sons, and they were like 19 at the time. So when I saw that, when I read up on them and found out that it was them, I was like, okay, it makes all kinds of sense now, at least with those two, knowing why they are the way that they are, because they had that, they grew up somewhat in that old school nostalgic style of hip hop.
Yeah, and then they said it in on the scenario. They were saying that basically people gonna say we couldn't have made it without a cosign, but they didn't use that as a cosign.
No,
they didn't. No. They had to go and put in work. They went through a lot of stuff to get where they are now, and they didn't get it by handouts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. They had to work.
So I guess the thing is, like, it does kind of make me think again, like, okay, well, maybe they could go mainstream, because at the end of the day, mainstream always looks for what's happening underground. That's how they determine what's going to be hot. So I would think that when the record labels start seeing, okay, these YouTube videos and all these other things happening, okay, they can be like, oh, these kids got something. So let's go ahead and try to get them a deal. And I feel like, in a sense, with them standing out that the way they do, that could really kind of give them leverage to be able to get a deal that they want, instead of the bullshit deals that the record labels give to these kids anyway. Because, you know, whenever they see what's hot, like that first new thing that's hot, that one always gets the leverage. But then remember, every other record label wants to try to copy that and mimic that. So they'll say, hey, we like your style. They'll bullshit you, say, we like your style. We want to sign you. And then they like mold you into this thing that you're not, and then give you some kind of bullshit deal. But that's, again, a whole different conversation. But it does kind of make me think that the labels and whoever else is considered mainstream would want to kind of seek these guys out, because they are starting to get that mainstream appeal.
They can try it all they want by trying to duplicate it. It just ain't gonna work.
No, it's never gonna work. And that's another thing I do like about Coast Contra, is that they do kind of bring that essence back, because I know, like, back growing up when we were listening to hip hop, everybody that came out, I mean, you had a few copycats here and there, but it was nowhere near as cookie cutter as it is today. But everybody that came out always tried to bring something a little bit different to the table. You know, you had Wu-Tang Clan with they kung fu inspired stuff. You had like Busta Rhymes with his like rah, you know, super wild stuff. You had Missy with her like weird aesthetic, but it was like still catchy. So like, for me, I think that's really what's refreshing about Coast Contra, is because they don't sound like what everybody else is doing. You know, although we know that it, like, to us, it sounds like the essence of true hip hop, or whatever you want to call it. In today's age, it's completely different from what hip hop is.
No idea what that sound like.
Right. And so I think that's another thing.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
These rappers that sit there and say they make this money, they do this, and then they ask them about some of these older artists, and they be like, I never heard of them before, this and that, or disrespectful to the older artists. If you don't sit your punk ass down, you telling me that your parents, your pops, your moms, your cousins, uncles, whoever was not bumping that shit when you was 5, 6 years old, bringing you to school or whatever, they bring you to the mall to go do. You telling me you didn't hear none of that stuff? So your parents whack. That's what you're saying.
That's what it sounds like, because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because I know when we were listening growing up, you know, we didn't grow up listening to Al Green. We didn't grow up listening, like, well, in our childhood was like our parents' childhood listening to that stuff. Yeah. We were introduced to that stuff because our parents were listening to that stuff. And I'm pretty sure that they were listening to people like, I don't know who came out when they were younger, the Temptations or Otis Redding or whoever, you know, like that's how we were introduced to that music. So yeah, that does make a lot of sense. You can't tell me that what is it? People our age in their 30s, 40s, and 50s,
and I jam that
weren't
shit.
listening to.
Put some Otis Redding on, nigga. I'm in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. And on top of that, if you really pay attention, the artists, the hip hop artists we were listening to, were sampling from these people.
Of course.
So that was like their way to like give tribute and what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but basically to give tribute to the people who came before them. It was like, okay, well, let's jam this sample and revive, the essence of this type of R&B music or soul music or whatever kind of music was going on at the time. So I don't know, man, but yeah, man, I'm loving everything that Coast Contra is doing right now, man.
Yeah,
it's like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's refreshing. Like it really.
I'm waiting on the next album already. Like,
right.
505 Jam. I'm liking the freestyles they put in between to keep us going, just feeding us some more. But I'm waiting on the next album already.
Right. And if they could kind of keep that appetite that they have now, that would be really, really, really good for hip hop because they sound hungry. They sound very, 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 very hungry. So
yeah, and people gonna have to show them respect. And I'm gonna say one more other thing about that shit while we on this music shit. If you goddamn 35 and up and you disrespect motherfucking Scarface again, I'm fucking up everybody, bro. If people don't start respecting Scarface, man, we're gonna have a problem, goddamn it. Because I don't like that shit. I was watching that bitch ass, but I don't think I say bitch ass, but I was watching that podcast. It just kind of pissed me off. And
what podcast?
But they were talking about their top fives and whatnot. So you know what I'm saying? Or the Hall of Fame. And they asked about Scarface. And one of the cats said he was from the South and was like, I don't care about Scarface.
What the hell?
If I could,
are you serious?
Boy, it would have been a problem.
You know what, man? People's opinions are their opinion, but
I get it, man.
That was kind of disrespectful.
That's hella disrespectful.
Because Scarface was like one of the pioneers of the South. Like,
he got bars, storytelling. He will murder anybody right now on a beat.
Scarface is like beat and can hang with the best of them.
That's what I'm saying.
So
like,
yeah,
I don't care how people look at it. I'm from the South. I'm a jam in the South. Now I still listen to hip hop. I listen to my rap. I listen to all of that. But from the South or whatever, Scarface gonna be number one.
Yeah.
He's gonna be number one. I don't care how people feel, because I feel like a lot of people, they name certain people and it's based off of what everybody else is doing. So it just seems like you gotta say that. Like, people gonna be mad. You know what? I don't like Big L.
You don't like Big L? I like Big L.
Nah, man.
But I know what you're saying. I hear
I'm just saying, people gonna be like, nah, nigga, you disrespect. No, I just don't like it, bro. That's not my flavor. I don't like that.
I don't know. If my dogs don't stop fighting around my camera, we're about to have a problem.
Choke them out, man.
I'm about to, because I see my camera leaning over here. Hey, move, get away. Get. Sorry, y'all. That's my dog's Hero and Sakura kind of being some assholes. But anyway.
But yeah, it's not my flavor. It's not my style, man. And it's not enough for everybody to just be like, every time they ask for your top, somehow Big L just get thrown in there.
Yeah.
Just because a artist has passed doesn't just shoot them to the top.
That don't give them props.
But that's what happens all the time. Soon as somebody pass away, whatever the case may be, I know people who probably never listened to what's his name, Mac Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of cats that never jammed him with that night.
And they'll say that he's dope. Yeah,
I didn't jam him, and it wasn't like I wasn't trying to. It just didn't come into my area. It didn't come into my field of music, so I didn't really. I still don't listen to the radio. I still don't listen to none of that stuff. So I'm late on a lot of music. I'm listening to all my old stuff because I just don't like what's happening. But soon as he died, all of a sudden everybody's like, man, that boy really jammed. He be doing this. He be doing that.
So
I don't do that.
I have been introduced to Mac Miller about, what's this, 2022? Probably about 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was cool. Like when I first heard him, I didn't know he was a white dude. But when I first heard him, I was like, okay, he can spit. Is he fire? I didn't think he was fire, but I thought he could spit. And then I was like, oh, okay, so it's a little white dude. But nah, I thought he was cool, but I don't, after he passed, it was sad news to hear that he passed.
Oh yeah, nobody
but
wanted to hear
I
about
don't think that I don't think that he should have, I don't, in my opinion, I don't think he should have shot to the top. You know what I'm saying? I just thought he was a little dude that could he had his bars and that was it. What? He had his career and
I still couldn't tell you one of his songs or whatnot. Yeah. And if he was super dope or whatever, you would have sent me a link. Hey, check this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I never got none of that stuff. And I still don't know nobody now that will do that. So it's not like people just was really pushing it forward. It was just at the moment, everybody wanted to put RP and that boy one of the greatest, this and this and that.
Well, that's just because everybody else want to be a part of the conversation.
Of course,
you know how that goes.
I'm not supposed to do it if I didn't jam it, and I'm not supposed to act.
Yeah, like no, 100%. Yeah, and it's kind of hard to even. I don't like trying to explain to people like a top 5. For one, it never stays the same because there's just too many.
It can change. It can change in the same day.
Yeah, it's too many artists, and two, I don't listen to a lot of mainstream radio right now because I just can't really relate to a lot what's going on. So a lot of my top 5ers, top 10ers, and all that right now, you may get 1 or 2, maybe 3 mainstream artists, but a lot of them are like underground artists. Like I fuck with Lil Brother, like real heavy. Like Fonte from Lil Brother is probably one of the most underrated lyricists I've ever listened to in my entire life, and I stand by that behind that 100% because he not only is dope with his bars, but he's also the guy that doesn't talk about his material possessions, this, that, and other. Fonte is like the what am I trying to call him? He's like the blue collar everyman of hip hop because he spits from a very, very, very real perspective. Like it was one song he did where he was saying something about peace of mind really does come with a paycheck attached to it. And that was a real line because a lot of us will talk about, oh, we don't need money to be happy and so on and so forth. But the truth of the matter is, if somebody offered you $1 million right now, you'd be more than likely to take it because at least at some point you're going to have that security.
Of course.
And that's the kind of stuff that Fonte talks about. You know what I'm saying? He comes from very real places. Like, okay, I may not be internationally known, but I know that I'm dope enough to be able to spit these bars. But at the end of the day, I'm not a Jay-Z. I'm not a Nas. I'm just doing the best I can to make the music and make the money.
I don't have to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But on the same token, he like, but at the end of the day, if I got this bread, then I'm doing what at the end of the day, I'm doing what I got to do as an artist to make a living for myself. And that's what I appreciate about rappers like Fonte, but different conversation right there.
Yeah. We got to bring that one, what I'm saying, somewhere else. But it's all good. But yeah, man, Coach Contra, man, shout out to them boys, man. I hope they actually start getting that build. I can't wait to see them on Sweat.
Yeah, I definitely see. Well, I know that they have a tour going on right now, or I know that at least been promoting a tour. I want to say that they're on tour right now. So
they are. They flashed the dates on the screen.
Right. So, yeah. I think Sway is definitely an inevitable journey for them. I do think that they may make a Breakfast Club appearance pretty soon. I did see them on one Power 105 show. I can't remember what it was, but I know that like
they did a 30-minute interview.
Yeah, and during the interview, they did meet some of the Breakfast Club while they were on the interview. So like I can kind of see them catching a buzz and eventually making their way there. And of course, they did Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
So that was a good look for them. So I mean, if they're getting that kind of attention right now, man, these dudes are gonna be running full steam ahead, man. I don't think they have anything to worry about. Plus, based on a lot of their content, to me, it sounds like money is not an issue anyway, because they're already kind of there with the bread. Yeah. They got one song, because I remember during one of the interviews on Power 105, they were talking about like financial education, the things that they don't really teach us in school about investing and stocks and all that stuff like that. But they got one song called Pimpin' Benjamins.
That shit's
And
fire.
that song was so dope because the message behind it was that, okay, well, and it could have been like a little shot at some of these rappers today, but it was also about the Black community and how the dollar circulates. Because you know what they were basically saying is that when you get your bread, don't blow it all on these material possessions. Don't try to buy the nice house. Don't get the nice car. I mean, if you can get it, but you know that money is not gonna last you if you're not gonna manage it right. You know, and they're basically saying like, do this with your money so that you can make it last. So I just thought that was like really cool because they do talk about like how we as Black people cannot, like, the dollar. What was that show Killer Mike had on was it on Netflix? Was it called Trigger Warning?
I don't know. I ain't never seen it.
You never seen it?
Nah.
Oh my God. So and I'll get back to Coast Country here in a second with that song. But Trigger Warning was the first episode of Trigger Warning where Killer Mike was going around town, basically trying to do 100% Black owned, like live his life 100% Black owned. So that
I did. I saw something about it. I don't think I watched the full thing, but I remember he was trying to go stay in like Black owned hotels.
Yeah.
It was. I remember hearing something about it. Yeah.
It was very, very, very difficult. But I think he said that there was a statistic that said that the Black dollar circulates within our community as long as, I can't remember if it was like a few days or even if it was a few hours. Yeah. Like it didn't last very long compared to like a lot of other
what's the first
ethnicities or whatever.
When they get money, as soon as
they go buy stuff. Yeah, they go buy stuff. So, but that's what the song was basically saying. It was just like, you know, this is how we keep the money in our communities, by investing in ourselves and investing in our futures. And on top of that, you know, it's not you know, if you do come into some sort of wealth, you know, don't try to hold it for yourself. You got to be able to make it last for the future generations.
Yeah.
But now Pimpin' Benjamins is like probably one of the dopest songs. And if you don't have the ear for it, it'll go right over your head, which to me, it sounded blatantly obvious what they were saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. But then, you know, got the ears for it, man. Some people, they hear the beat and they just be like, oh, I like the way they rolled the beat. Even though they do that shit skillfully, they still talking about something.
Well, but which that's a whole different topic right there, because that's almost like, personally to me, the gift and curse of hip hop. You know, especially for those who went mainstream, even back in the day, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know, they were trying to get their message out, but they had to find a way to be able to hook you. So in a lot of songs, they'll make a fire beat. And even if you're not listening to the words, the flow, the delivery,
it's gonna catch you.
It's gonna hook you. So when the delivery is right and the beat is right, you ain't even gotta listen to what the hell they're saying. You're just gonna be like, that's a dope song. You know what I mean? So it's almost like a blessing and a curse. At the end of the day, I guess the artists and the record labels, whoever win, because people are still gonna buy the music, even though they don't know what the hell they're listening to.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to get one of them jackets, man. That jacket they did on Scenario, the Letterman jackets, fire.
Man, I don't see how Letterman's ever went out of style. They shouldn't have gone out of style. I've always thought Letterman's were dope as hell.
Hey man, we getting one. We making
which? Oh hell yeah! So y'all see that logo in the right hand corner? Be on the lookout to see that on a Letterman jacket one day. Yeah. Which is another thing that I like about them, because they almost kind of bring all of that back with them. Like, not only are they spitting bars, not only are they on fire beats, not only do they showcase the hip hop group, which is something that really doesn't exist anymore, but you almost kind of see that fashion. Well, no, I can't put that on Coast Country, because you know what? I went to the mall with my wife like not too long ago, and she walked me through Forever 21. She was like, I got to show you something.
Yeah.
The 90s fashion is actually here. It's actually here with modifications.
Yeah.
But it's here. So they are kind of bringing it back. But like when I saw them, Coast Contra,
they are wearing like the Letterman jackets and they're doing the beanie hats and you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of like they look like I guess what we thought hip hop was back in the day, and I think that's also something that
they
kind of
taking the jewelry and the bullshit out of it. It's just they go rap. We can take all of the money, the jewelry, the fame. They taking all that shit off the table and they just rap.
Yeah.
So
I
just appreciate just that because I don't have to hear about. Because if they was doing the same thing these cats was doing, every song would be about the same shit over and over and over.
No, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
We actually getting some new shit. So I'm happy. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this will, especially with them, like how you said earlier, they were calling people out. Hopefully that can kind of take some people from the underground.
Yeah.
And also make them kind of respond and be like, okay, well, I see y'all, but okay, we coming. You know, because there are groups out there that have existed that are out there trying to do the thing, but they just couldn't get the look. I don't know if it was just because maybe the marketing wasn't right, or maybe they just didn't catch lightning in a bottle the way Coast Country did, or whatever the case may be. But like there are groups out there, like there's one group from North Carolina called Coolie High that I've been on for the last maybe like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
There's a white dude named Tab One and a black dude named Charlie Smarts. And as a matter of fact, Rhapsody was a part of the group before she went on her solo career.
And I can't wait till she like really just take the shine over as well.
Rhapsody, yo.
I can't wait till she take the shine over.
Rhapsody, somebody made me so mad when they was talking about Rhapsody one day. I think I was listening to the Breakfast Club and somebody had called in. Somebody had called in and they were talking about female artists, and I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was like Cardi B or I don't know, one of the female rappers who's like super hot right now. And I think the conversation was something to the extent of, you know, all the female rappers are over sexualized and so on and so forth. And Charlamagne was like, but what about Rhapsody?
Yeah.
And the girl was like, well, I like Rhapsody, but she boring. I was like, no.
That was the
Rhapsody. Rhapsody is not fucking boring. She got bars. She can spit. She's only boring to you because she's telling you some intelligent shit, and you don't have the time to sit back and try to decipher what the hell she's saying.
Yeah, because they just want to hear bounce that ass, huh?
Yeah.
That's it.
But even if you listen to Rhapsody songs, she'd be like, look, I ain't the only female artist out here. I'm not, we diverse. I listen to that shit too. Yeah. But this is me. This is who I am, and this is what I spit.
And take it for what it is.
Take it for what it is. She's hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? She good with her words. She just know how to spit. But yeah, you got Coolie Hot. Then there's another group out of Detroit called Clear Soul Forces.
Okay.
They are dope as hell. Been on them since maybe about 2017. That's when I first started hearing from them.
Yeah. And
they are another group. Can spit they asses off, but like you gotta have, you gotta as I'm like the digital version of like digging in the crates. You know what I'm saying? When I'm finding these guys on like YouTube and SoundCloud or wherever I'm listening to music from. So like these people do exist. It's just that I think Coast Contra, I don't know. I guess they just kind of hit the right stride at the right time with the marketing and just being able to have the talent and so on and so forth, put it out to the people to where they can consume it and be visible to everybody and make it great. So I do kind of hope that it gives groups like Coolie High and Clear Soul Forces and whoever else is out there that kind of opportunity to kind of step forward and be brought into the forefront to really get people on to what they're trying to say, because they, you know, people always say hip hop has died, and I've never been the one to say that hip hop was dead. I just think that it took a step back. You know what I'm saying? And now groups like Coast Contra.
I wouldn't even say it took a step back. We just have that everything goes in a circle.
It was the flow,
stuff, and we just getting back to the essence. It
was a flow.
Yeah,
hip hop might have just had a few too many pints of ice cream, and might have just had went into cardiac arrest a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
So Coast Contra again, they got the defibrillator, and they recharging that joint back to life. So
yeah, man, I'll take it all day.
Oh man, hell yeah. So like I do think that it's a good time for it. And I'm not looking for nothing to happen like immediately. You know, I'm looking maybe like within the next year or two. for us to see like this new wave of hip hop artists emerge and really give us the stuff that they have, because we did, we do see it in the Kendricks, but even Kendrick's been around for the last 10 years, the J. Cole's, the Big Crits and all of them.
Yeah,
they kind of,
it takes time within that structure or whatever for them to do albums and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's
4-5 years for a new album.
Right. It's such a single driven industry right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for the bodies of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So man, shout out to Coast Contra, man.
Shout out. Salute for real.
They doing a damn thing, man. So I can't even be mad about it. Yeah. But anyway, well, we've been on for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, man.
I think that was healthy.
It is, man. You gonna watch Rick and Morty, bro?
Huh?
Rick and Morty.
Man, I ain't got cable. I got HBO Max. So I gotta wait till
that shit hot.
Huh?
That shit hot, man. I just be streaming my ass off, which that's starting to all of the streaming things I got, they starting to add up to as much as that damn cable bill was.
It costs just about as much cable.
$300 a month.
But you know why I got rid of cable? It was actually for a very petty reason.
Yeah.
The reason I got rid of cable was due to the fact that they took Cartoon Network off my package.
Right.
So, and I'm like, I'm not about to pay extra for Cartoon Network. I would much rather just stream the shit on HBO. I can wait a year, so I don't have to.
So I can catch it all at once. I'd rather binge that shit.
I'd rather binge it anyway, and it's much funnier on HBO Max anyway
because they ain't edited.
Yeah, they cussing and all kind of stuff on there. So
I
will just have to wait for season 6 to come out within like the next year or so.
Yeah, so, I'm waiting on. I guess I got to watch Cobra Kai today, man.
Oh shit, Cobra Kai did come out today, didn't it? Okay, so that means that I need to.
Are you caught up?
Yeah. I need to kind of refresh myself with what season are we on right now? What's the new season? Is it season 5?
5.
That's coming out today?
Yes.
Okay, so I need to refresh myself on season 4 because I do remember like the little black kid coming into it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a big role in it and whatnot, but I don't know. I saw something online. He said something like they fired his ass or something. So I don't know if he's getting replaced or
the little young kid.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I don't know if they just go. He gotta go keep his character. I'm pretty sure. Probably just.
I mean, when I'm on YouTube, I see like the little, you know how the little YouTube ads come up before the video. Like they had him in the
he's in there somewhere. He might get unveiled, man, in the middle of the damn season. Just be a whole nother kid.
Maybe so, but yeah, I guess I'll sit back and watch Cobra Kai this weekend. I got a lot of work to do, man. I'm
gonna watch that shit, and I'm gonna watch that funky ass Thor. It just dropped on Disney Plus. Yeah, I know.
I don't know how to feel about it.
I'm gonna waste 2 hours out of my day to watch.
Well, I went to go see it. I went to go see it at the movies.
Fuck that She-Hulk.
I went to go see Thor: Love and Thunder. Without giving away too much. Yeah. I'm just gonna say this. I think they tried to use the same formula that they did for Ragnarok. So it almost felt a little redundant. And then also, personally, I felt like it was a bit too forced. So, like, because you remember the first two Thor, like the first Thor was good. I thought it was good.
Super serious.
But it was very serious. Second Thor, I didn't like it. It was trash. I hated the one with the dark elves.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah, that one was trash. But Ragnarok was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. It was really fun. It had the right amount of funny. It had brilliant storytelling. Everything about it was good. But with this one, it felt like they tried to do Ragnarok again.
Yeah, not so much based in rock music, basically.
Yeah, it followed that same sort
from
of
the 80s.
It's followed that same sort of format, but I mean, of course, it was a totally different story, but it was like the same formula.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this time it felt really, really like the humor didn't feel so funny to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was like they were trying to make it like Ragnarok. So
but yeah, I mean, from the reviews I saw, it was more like you couldn't even go 3 minutes without them trying to force a joke in.
Right. They were really trying to hit you with the jokes, you know. And there was a lot of and there was some really interesting undertones in some of the storytelling as well. But you know, I'm not gonna ruin that for you. I mean, I do want you to watch it.
It's fine. It's ruined already. I already know what's happening, but I still gotta watch it. So
no, I mean, I know the key thing. I'm not going to even tell you because I already know the key thing that's happening in the movie. But outside of that particular situation, there's some, and you'll catch them. You'll catch the undertones when you watch it. There's just some really interesting undertones that they talk about in the movie that
bullshit. I get it.
Were a little weird.
Yeah.
But overall, man, I mean, I'm not gonna. I won't say that was a horrible movie. I don't think it was a bad movie. I do feel like I could have waited for it to come out on Disney Plus.
That's what I'm doing now. So it's
right.
It's not, I'm just going to watch it. My money to watch it.
I was a little upset that I went to go to the movies. And really and truly, you know why I really went to the movies? Only because I haven't been to the movies in like 3 years.
You could have went seen something else.
I could have gone to go see something else, and that's what I'm kind of upset about. Because I wanted to go, get the popcorn and that I wanted the experience, but I just went to go see the wrong movie. So it is what it is. But I kind of started watching Moon Knight again. It's
good, but you can't. The dog's got to be outside or in the garage or somewhere.
Yeah, you have to really be.
Sister-in-law got to be gone or something or whatever, because you got to be 100% focused. You can't miss 5 seconds of the damn show.
That was my thing. Like I'm real. I'll be honest. I'm only on like episode 2, but I wanted to see him become Moon Knight. That was where I wanted to go because I knew at that point that's when it would get interesting. So
and overall, man, for one, the aesthetics, man, the damn outfit, everything it looked good.
Yeah,
it was pretty dope.
I'm trying to make my way through it just so I can get into She-Hulk because I mean I want to watch. After I saw the little end credits on She-Hulk, I was kind of all right. This is a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, but as a Marvel,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah,
it's hard to watch. It's hard to swallow because
the
story is not consistent. It's it's obviously man bashing, but whatever. You can kind of go through some of it, but the entire show, fuck that shit. It's just whack, man. If they would have they're not trying to tell a story. They just want to talk shit. If they telling a story, then hell, we can deal with that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they just want to talk shit. So since they want to talk shit, it's kind of ruining the quality of the show. Then who
is that?
You know who that is.
That's man. MJ.
Yeah.
All I see is a random. But no, I mean, of course, as a Marvel fan, I have to treat Marvel like I treat Fast and Furious. Like I know that every movie that comes out after is going to be bullshit, but because I've watched so much of it, it's like I have to finish it. So
there's a difference in Fast and Furious. We know it's not going to be a good movie.
Well, hell, low key, it's kind of how I'm feeling about Marvel shit right now.
This phase is stupid.
Because
Doctor Strange should have been called Wanda.
Yeah, it could have been.
It should have just been called Wanda.
But and I say this as a Marvel fan, so I'm saying this with a lot of love. It doesn't come from a hateful place. I've been a Marvel fan my entire life. And to see these movies and stuff like that coming to fruition, I think is a beautiful thing. But I also feel like a part of the MCU died after
Tony Stark.
Endgame. After Endgame. Yeah, right. When Tony Stark died,
you get rid of him, Captain America. I mean,
when the core Avengers
you got Black
out of the way.
Black Widow's gone. I don't really know what else we need.
Even Black Widow was not interesting to me.
Well, because
real talk,
they did it in the wrong time. They should have never did it after Endgame because we knew she wouldn't. There was no harm that's gonna happen to her. We know you died already,
right?
So having a movie where you just survive and whatnot, there's no stakes. There's nothing. They didn't do enough with the Red Room. They didn't do none of that shit. Like they should have showed the real violent parts and what they did in there. instead of just talking
Right.
about it. Their little story was flat.
But even Spider-Man Far From Home was just kind of like,
It was bland.
like it was kind of whatever.
They caught us just in a moment so we can see all three Spider-Man at the same time.
Right. Well, no, I'm talking about the one. I'm not talking about the one with Electro and all them. I'm talking about
which one you said?
I'm talking about the second one.
Oh, okay. Far From Home. Gotcha.
The one where with Mysterio.
Yeah.
Is that the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah.
Even that one was just kind of like, you know, and don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of MCU movies in the earlier phases that I didn't care for. Like, I didn't too much care for Iron Man 3. I didn't care for Thor 2, as I said earlier. I didn't care for Age of Ultron. I actually went to go see Age of Ultron twice and
Just
fell
so
asleep on it both times.
You can feel good about it the second time. Hopefully you missed something, but
yeah, I fell asleep twice. So, like, you know, I can't say that every movie was good, but overall, that whole Infinity, the first 3 phases, for the most part, was pretty damn impressive. But after that, man, I just kind of fell off just because
I didn't like Black Panther.
You know what? Okay.
No, I didn't.
No. I'm not saying I'm not going to disagree with you.
It wasn't a great movie.
I think Black Panther was more hype.
It was all hype
than anything.
It worked because it got them to $1 billion.
Oh, from a marketing standpoint, it was fucking genius.
Yeah,
which
niggas was wearing dashikis to go see the movie, bro.
Yeah, big facts.
Which had nothing to do with the movie at all. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, no, big facts. it you know, do what you do. It's whatever. But I do feel like it was more hype than anything. I do think that I think as far as the way the movie was written,
yeah,
I think the story was amazing. The execution of the movie, however, was a little, I don't want to say subpar, but it wasn't what I expected it to be.
CGI, you know, was shitty when they were
I did like not even the CGI.
It was
I did like
each other.
I did like the CG. I mean, CG.
Yes,
I like the hip hop elements of it. I thought that was kind of cool. I did like the cultural nuances here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that although Killmonger was a great character, I think that Michael B. Jordan overacted a bit in that movie.
Oh, of course, he had to. Just
like
in Carnage, man.
I never seen Carnage. You can't tell me about it.
It's a lot of overacting in that mother.
Well, hell, I thought the first Venom was a lot of overacting. I didn't like. Okay, you know what? I didn't like Venom. I didn't like the first Venom.
I didn't like the villain.
Yeah, I didn't too much care for Venom.
Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, Venom gay now, so it don't even matter. So.
Anything that happened with Spider-Man, anything that happened in the Spider-Man franchise without Spider-Man,
it's trash.
Was trash.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen Morbius, but I've already seen all the reviews, and they're saying that it was a shit show.
You can watch it on Disney Plus. You can watch it.
I'm not
because it does nothing to keep the.
I'm not speaking of movies, speaking of superhero movies. So I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the whole Justice League thing. You know, I've always been anti. I don't want to see Justice League, even the Snyder Cut. I am still trying to watch the Snyder Cut. I don't know what the hell's so good about this movie. It is boring.
Nothing.
It's boring. Why do a lot of people like this movie?
They made a 45-hour movie for nothing. For nothing at all. Like, it didn't do nothing extra. Like, Cyborg still looked like a piece of shit. Like, that was the worst CGI I ever seen in my life. That dude looks like shit.
I've been seeing
dumb as hell.
Well, I've been hearing everybody say that and I fall for it every time, especially when it comes to these DC movies.
You went watch the Snyder Cut?
I've been here, but I fall for it with every movie. Like, okay, when Man of Steel came out, I thought Man of Steel was dope as shit because the dude that played General Zod killed that shit, and I thought that the fight was amazing.
Yeah,
but so that hyped me up to go see Batman versus Superman. So when I saw like a fool, I went to the goddamn midnight premiere.
You was all in, huh?
I was
you was
there,
all in, huh?
I was there with my popcorn and my icy and my junior mints. I was sitting there with a big smile on my face, waiting for
you
this
was
movie
answering
to come
all
out.
the questions before the movie started.
Like,
when they do
I'm excited.
Yeah, you was all in, huh?
My experience at Batman versus Superman was kind of like this. Okay, so it's it's starting off a little slow, but that's expected. Whatever, it's a movie. That was like an hour in. Then like the first hour and a half, it was just kind of like, all right, it's gonna get better, right? And then by the time like the climax of the movie happened, I was kind of like, that's some bullshit.
It was a whole bunch of bullshit because for one, you got them fighting and shit, and then all of a sudden, all you got to do is say Martha, and then that solves everything for one.
Yeah,
and then they started bringing in characters that they didn't even introduce yet. Even though we should know who they are, but you can't just slap them in the movie and act like everything is good. They basically made the Justice League before the movie.
It was the Justice League. There was too many movies. In a movie. It was Return of Dark Knight. It was Justice League, and it was Superman Doomsday, all in one movie.
And they just put Wonder Woman in there.
But if I can recall, I think that came out around the same time. Either one of the Avengers movies came out or Captain America Civil War. I want to say it was Captain America Civil War that was coming out around. It was either that or Age of Ultron. I can't remember which one it was. But like I know that it was coming out around that same time. Honestly, I think they just threw the shit together just to try to get the money before the Marvel movie came out, because they knew that Marvel movie was going to gross a bunch of money.
Of course, they tried to cram over 10 years of movies into one movie.
Yeah, that could have been. Hey, get away from that. Sorry, y'all, man. My dogs are assholes, so I apologize. They over here messing with my lights and all that stuff.
Man, my dogs, they some assholes too. They over here just chit chatting.
Yeah, they do whatever they do, man. But nah, man, that Superman versus Batman was just total trash. I wasn't a fan. I think it was bullshit. But I got hyped up over that. Okay, I was like, okay, well, that's one bad DC movie. Then they started talking about Wonder Woman. It was like, oh shit, Wonder Woman.
The first Wonder Woman was pretty cool.
I fell asleep on it.
I mean, it is what it is. It was cool.
I fell asleep on it.
The second one, though?
Didn't even watch it. Didn't even give it the time of day.
But then there's no point in me wasting my time talking about it. It was not good.
I fell for it with Aquaman. Oh, Aquaman's a good movie. When I watched that movie, I think I made it 20 minutes when I saw that shitty ass CGI. And when I saw them try to make Nicole Kidman look younger, I was like, and why did everybody like the sunset scenes when everybody was all orange and shit? Everybody like a goddamn Oompa Loompa.
Hey,
I was like, no, man. No. Everybody, that movie was only good to a lot of people because Jason Momoa was in it. He was walking around shirtless.
Yeah, so they brought the female audience in. Who claimed they like comic books, even though there's plenty of women that out here that love comic books and anime and shit like that. They go, but most of the ones who went to see that movie
didn't even like that shit.
Yeah,
they just want to see him. Okay, so what? He might be an attractive guy or whatever, but that's all they use to sell the movie. Great marketing scheme, 100%.
That's how they just sold Thor. They just stripped him butt naked and put it in a trailer.
Hell, that's damn near how they sell every male Marvel guy. There's always gonna be at least one shirtless scene.
They stripped him butt naked, and then they put him in a trailer. So now, if you watching TV, you sitting there with your lady, and all of a sudden they see that, they like, "Can I go see it when you go?"
Oh, even Adrian was like, "I like Thor."
Of course.
But,
yeah.
But nah, man, they use that as far as the movies go. I fell for Aquaman, and I couldn't do it. So I just kind of vowed myself to just say, fuck it with DC.
You know what pissed me off the most, though, be real? The way the Flash runs, bro. Why is his hands doing this?
I don't even know.
What the hell is that?
Oh, I don't even know how he runs, but I did watch that. I did watch that one part of the Snyder cut of Justice League, and I saw him do a ripoff of the X-Men Days of Future Past scene.
Oh, of course, yes.
Wait, remember when Quicksilver did the slow motion thing?
Yes.
They did the same exact thing with the Flash. When I saw that scene, I turned my TV off.
Yeah.
I got pissed off because I was like, okay, now y'all clearly just ripping off of Marvel on that one. Well, that wasn't even MCU at the time, but still, like y'all ripping off of Marvel. Yeah. So I kind of lost it. So like, man, I really kind of just vowed not to I gave up on DC movies. I said, you know what? I'm lying.
The animated movies are actually dope.
Oh, the animated movies are dope. But I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the Batman, the newest one with old boy from Twilight.
You like that shit?
No, I turned it off.
That shit's trash.
You know what? I'm not gonna
that shit's trash, bro.
I can't say that I didn't like it because I did not finish it. But due to the fact that I didn't finish
how much did you watch? How much did you watch?
I have a 20-minute window with just about any movie I watch.
You missed absolutely nothing. The first 20 minutes of the movie, you got the whole movie.
If I can't get hooked in the first 20 minutes of a movie, 9 times out of 10, I'm done. Because I think 20 minutes is enough to get somebody engaged to continue on with the story. You know, every movie has every story has to have that one hook. We all know that it's not going to always start off fast unless it's Crank. Statham.
Yeah,
that's all.
Crank, you just off the dump.
I don't even that's a whole yeah. But that's different. But every movie's gonna start, you know, it's always got to kind of do like this.
Yeah.
And then, you know, whatever. But the first 20 minutes, if I can't get into it, I just can't watch it.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the whole movie because I had nothing else to do, and I was at work. So I watched the entire movie, but I learned nothing. It did nothing. He didn't say nothing the whole movie.
He was kind of like an Evo Batman.
Yes.
You know, he was basically Edward.
He was
Edward just wearing a bat suit.
That's it. He fell in love with Catwoman in 5 seconds.
Right.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
He seen a chick in a tight outfit and was like, I love you. Like, bro, what is wrong with you, man?
But I can't agree. I think we can both agree to this. At least that Catwoman was a hell of a lot better than Halle Berry Catwoman.
Yeah. Yes. Halle Berry was not good for that part.
Yeah, but she took that in stride.
They brought her in so she could sell tickets, bro. That's it. That movie was trash.
She took that L in stride. But you know, okay, here's the part about the Catwoman movie that completely pissed me off.
Everything.
In general, yeah. But it wasn't. It was everything, but it was one part. It was one part that just made me like go up in arms and just be like, "This is some bullshit." And it was that fucking basketball scene. Hold on.
That basketball scene.
By the way, iced coffee by Sonic.
Hey man,
it's delicious.
They're not paying us, man. Calm down.
Hey.
But yeah, I get it.
Don't be pessimistic.
Bring them in.
No,
but no, the basketball scene was 100% trash. I don't know what they was thinking when they did that shit. It was just dumb. I don't know. I wish they can actually get better.
Hold on real quick. Hold on. Check. About to embarrass Adrian.
Why you gonna do that?
Hello?
Hey,
what you doing?
I can't decide what I want for lunch.
You can't. You are actually being recorded.
Sister Loud.
Huh?
Bye.
Why you saying bye?
Because I don't want to be recorded.
Okay. Nah, we almost done. We've been on for about an hour. I'm gonna call you back in a little bit.
You don't have to call me back. Talk to you later. Y'all have fun.
All right. Bye. That's how raw we are right here on Super Hadnot Bros. God damn it! I wish I had a bomb to follow that with.
I know, man. I'm gonna have to grab my my bullshit button. So anytime something happens, I can smash my bullshit button. That's
right.
But it's outside because I'll be calling bullshit on people outside. So you know.
Yeah. But no, it was the basketball scene in Catwoman that really turned me off to that movie, man. I was just like, what the fuck is this? This is 100% trash.
Trash writing.
Yeah, everything. No, there was nothing good about this movie.
No, nothing. The when she ran up the wall, her head stayed still and her whole body was going everywhere. That shit was trash.
The CGI was bad. The storytelling was bad.
Acting was bad.
The acting was bad. The cinematography was bad. There was nothing. I'm trying to think about the worst movie I've ever seen. Whatever the worst movie I've ever seen was probably better than Catwoman. That's pretty fucking low. Are you really sitting there thinking about the worst movie you've ever seen?
Yeah. Because I've seen some shitty movies. You know, I take the time out of my day to go through Netflix and find movies that has 1 or 2 stars and watch them just so I can see how shitty they are.
The shittiest movie I've ever seen, that's actually really funny because I feel like I wasn't trying to intend a pun, but it was a movie called Monster. One of my friends, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg showed me Monster. And this movie was so bad. It was about a giant turd.
I mean, I get it. I caught it from the title. Yeah,
that was about like killing people. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the way they solved it, the way they solved it was like the way they killed him was like they like had guns made out of toilet paper, like Ghostbusters or some shit. They would like wrap them into. I can't remember exactly how the story was, but I remember seeing a bunch of toilet paper in the movie to like take this monster down. It was bad.
Did you watch the whole movie?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because okay, so yeah, shout out to Master P, man. You know, he did some good movies at some point. They were pretty cool, right? They get to the hood. They make it to the hood classics, right?
Right.
Black Superman.
I've never even heard of that.
He's in Black Superman. He did the movie, right? This is after he did I Got the Hookup, the first one.
Okay.
And I'm about it. And you know, some good movies. You know, film was good quality, decent quality for the time.
Yeah.
It looked like somebody recorded this shit with a flip phone.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, he needed to go around and save people and shit. And the only way he able to get his powers is when he smoked weed.
Yeah.
So every time he smoked weed, you know, you got your Superman run into the booth, come out.
Right.
Costume. He comes out and he's wearing an actual like Superman costume that you find at Walmart with the fake and shit.
Like the red, the blue and yellow, like the actual Superman costume.
But it's with the fake muscles and shit that
no.
What 8-year-old?
I don't even care about the muscles. Was it the actual Superman costume?
I think so. Yeah.
Like Superman. So they didn't even he did. So wait, he didn't even take the time to have his own like his own design.
And the only way he get powers is when he hit the weed. So every time he hit the weed, he get a new power and shit. So the only way he can fly is he got to get high. You know what I'm saying? And it made no sense at all. It was basically him and a couple of his partners getting high and playing Superman. That's
so was it intended to be like a comedy?
I laughed a lot. But at the time, I had hit the blunt too at the time when we watched it, so it made it hilarious.
Well, anything.
But it was only it was laughing at them, not at the movie. It's laughing at the whole.
But anything's funny when you high.
Not everything.
Well,
the
maybe
shit
when
that's going on right now with Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish, I don't care if you high or not. Shit's never funny.
Oh, I didn't read too much into that, but I know that they under some trouble with some kids or something like that.
If you see the damn skits that they tried to they put out there, make your stomach turn. You'll be ready to whip some ass.
Wow.
Yeah, and everybody trying to give Tiffany a pass or whatever, and she is. I feel like she's more responsible for the whole situation because she took these kids, found the kids, and brought them there. And without a guardian and whatnot. She was supposed to be their guardian. and she's in the clips, and you got these kids in their underwear, and you know what I'm saying, Aries weird ass got in a tub with the little boy and his.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, it's like that. They had the little boy like his legs in the air like a V. You know what I'm saying, and taping him. They looking at him through the newspaper, and they made it look like he was jacking off a train track or something like that. They had one with the little girl, Tiffany, was supposedly had taught her. She was trying to teach her how to look like she was performing fellatio on a sandwich.
And how old were the kids?
The little boy, I believe, was like 7.
Oh, wow. So they wasn't even. Wow.
And the little girl was a few years older, I believe, or something like. Or she might. I don't know. I don't know how old the girl is. I'm gonna have to look that up. But it's just basically that's what's going on. And I feel like nobody would really trip if they did like some SNL shit. You know, when they have some shit and they want to talk about kids, they still use the character, the adults, to play them.
To play the children, right?
Right. And you can kind of it still wouldn't have been funny, but nobody would have gave a shit. Yeah, I see what. Yeah, no, nobody would have. That might be a little much. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've been meaning to read it because I don't. One thing I never do is really just kind of go just by the headline alone because that's how people start sharing opinions about shit that they don't know about. So I never really commented on it because I didn't read the full story. But yeah, I'll have to go back and look at that. But based on what you're telling me, man, that's a bit interesting.
You can actually look up because sometimes you have to watch the video to get a better understanding and figure out why people are so pissed off.
Right.
But you probably wouldn't even be able to finish watching it, but you would have to, because some people, they'll be like, oh, maybe they shouldn't have had the little boy in his underwear, but then they turn it off. But if you watch the whole thing, it's disgusting. And they did multiple videos, multiple skits. And you know what I'm saying? Supposedly they told the guardian of the kids that they were taking the kids to go do some stuff for like Nickelodeon.
Right.
This shit was done in like their basement. You know what I'm saying? It looked like they went to a basement and was trying to do some shit. And that shit is not cool, bro. I'm uppercutting everybody in the room, bro. And I get there's a lot of people trying to blame the parent, being like, where was the parent? And I don't give a damn. If it was me, my kids would never be there alone. But the situation is, this woman was supposed to have been like really good friends with Tiffany.
Right.
And I guess like godmother type. So she trusted her and like, okay,
right.
You know what I'm saying? You take them and go do some Nickelodeon shit. Hey, cool. We don't know that circumstance, but at the end of the day, no matter if the parent was there, she left you in charge of the kids.
Right.
So you don't have there's no excuse on the shit that you did with them kids and shit, and then want to backdoor and be like, the mother should have been present. Either way, it's nasty. Y'all wrote the skit, y'all produced the skit, y'all recorded the skit, and y'all put it out there. So now that it's going bad, it's too late to try to backpedal and crab walk your ass out of this one. That shit is that's a bit much, man. I have to go read the story. Yeah, read the story, man.
Goodness.
You know what I'm saying? The video alone is giving you enough.
Do I even want to go watch that?
Like I said, man, it's gonna make you want to kick some ass. But in order for you to have a good grasp on the what's going on, you almost have to see it.
Right.
And so now they trying to downplay it and say they try to do a PSA, but they were just trying to be funny, and it just wasn't. Yeah,
it was when funny goes wrong.
Yeah, bro. And they didn't have nothing at the end that was like, oh, this was a PSA and or at the beginning, or this is satire. They didn't have no warnings of none of this shit. It's just a video.
Yeah. I guess, man. That's that's a all right.
yeah. But
it is what it is. All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and take this thing to a close for this week.
Yeah, man. That's cool.
Man, so first episode.
Got it out the way.
We got it out the way. First broke episode, straight out of the corner of my guest room.
Goddamn right. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the man cave, goddamn.
Welcome to the man cave. So for everybody listening, if you did enjoy the show, please be sure to comment, to go ahead and add it to your favorites, like it, share it, and then most importantly, subscribe.
Subscribe, goddamn.
Please subscribe, because that's going to be the most meaningful thing to us. And if you do want to support the show, we actually do have a Patreon account in the link listed below, where you can go ahead and support the show. You get all kind of perks and things of that nature, and you can also get merchandise from us with Super Hadnot Bros. You know, just to kind of help us produce the content and things of that nature, if this is something that you're interested in. So, man, with that being said, man, we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, man.
And until next time,
salute.
Peace.